What's up, y'all? You're tuned into Vision and Heels Uncensored, the podcast dedicated to giving you the raw truth on all things V&H. We're talking real-life experiences infused with faith and an unwavering commitment to authenticity.
I'm Yvette Marie Pujol, your Vision and Heels Community Manager, a Cuban visionary with Miami roots.
And I'm Jeanette Marie Rodriguez, the CEO and founder of Vision and Heels, Puerto Rican and Dominican Bronx native, your New Yorican host. We're here to share our take on navigating life, business, and all the hats we proudly wear.
Time to pour the cafecito. Let's dive in.
Man, oh man, I am still buzzing from the Broadway musical Hell's Kitchen, Alicia Keys' Hell's Kitchen, that I just got back from the Dr. Phillips Center today. Wow, OMG, what an amazing show. Prior to that, my favorite was Tina Turner, the musical. I have to say, sorry for Tina Turner, Alicia Keys' Hell's Kitchen is now my number one. Oh man, it was amazing. So I had to start with that because I literally was on the way back from Orlando listening to that. It's Sunday night, y'all. It's International Women's Day, an amazing day to celebrate the girls. Man, it is just a special day. I am still overflowing with joy and just so much emotion from Friday. I will get into that a little bit later. Friday was our Voices of Vision conference, our IWD conference that we celebrate IWD every year, but this year we wanted to go out with a bang. So it was amazing. Just another event for the books. And then my Sunday to have this on International Women's Day. This play was just awesome. It was the icing on the cake and everything that I needed for the weekend. I'm gonna say 10 out of 10, guys. I'm rating it 10 out of 10. We miss our girl Yvette. Let's all keep her and her family in prayer. She spent the last few weeks getting us ready, making all the details on our conference perfect. And she is with her family. Her mommy-in-law is not doing well. So we will keep her in our prayers. Richard, her husband, and her two baby girls are, alongside their grandma, Yvette's mommy-in-law. So we will say a prayer for her. But I did not want to not record something on IWD. How could I not? It is our day, ladies. Like, it is our day, right? So, every day needs to be our day. But International Women's Day is a day where we see us being celebrated for all of the things, right? For all of the hats, for all of the voices, just everything we bring to the table is being recognized today. So, this show that I just came out of was just amazing. And just a little synopsis of the show: a young woman is finding her voice and purpose in the New York City, the big NYC, right? Which is kind of the mission of Vision and Heels, because I'm a New York girl. So Alicia Keys, I believe, was born a year after me, so I'm a year older than her, but our clothing, they had her with the outfits, the hip-hop outfits that we all wore. Walking down the streets that we walked down. It was just an amazing amazing show. The outfits, the verbiage, the words, everything she used brought me back to that time. And it was awesome. Like, I physically saw myself as a young teenager walking the streets of New York, just trying to find my mission and my purpose, right? Which all boils down to Vision in Heels, right? And how VNH just became an idea for a young girl. I always knew I wanted to do something special for the ladies, right? Never did I thought it was going to be a co-working space in DeLand, Florida. I was a young girl in the city, but I knew I wanted to do something special for the ladies because I knew how awesome we are. When given the chance, we can run the world, girls. So, I mean, I guess this is why the play hit home for me. And it went to my number one on my Broadway musical list, and brought Tina to number 2. So sorry, Tina. Alicia Keys' Hell's Kitchen is my number 1. Anyways, the IW theme for 2026, for this year, every year it's a different theme, but this year is Give to Gain. So how are we giving our energy to the community, right? And how is that fueling our personal growth, right? So you're saying to me, how can I fuel my personal growth if I'm giving, right? And that's the whole point of the theme. When you give, you gain in return, right? And that's going to bring me to our Voices of Vision conference. A little bit of reflection from what happened, a little bit of recap from Friday. Let me tell you, gals, if you were not in the room, you missed it. It was amazing. And it was women of all walks of life. We had mommies. We had ladies that had no kids. We had grandmas in the room. We had CEOs. We had folks climbing the corporate ladder. We had branch managers. I mean, you name it, it was in that room. Right? And we had 100 reservations of women that came the morning of. We had a few that had to cancel due to family emergencies. But for the most part, majority of the ladies showed up and took the day to kind of soak it all in, right? We saw amazing networking happening. We saw women from, not even from Florida come just for the event. I mean, it was just amazing. I have just no words other than I am still in shock, in just pure awe of everything, all the relationships, all the words. There were so many times I was in tears. A lot of the women that were there, I got to see from the beginning, like, them flourish. So for me, it was like watching my babies. So there was a few moments that I was in the corner emotional, and I had to wipe away the tears because they were coming out. But it was just amazing. It was just, I can't even explain. We are already planning 2027. How insane is that? But it will be held Friday, March 5th, 2027. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you follow us on the socials so you don't miss next year. I'm telling you, ladies, you're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be amazing. But I mean, the breakthrough we saw from the panelists, we had, different panels. We had finance, we had legal, we had wellness, and then we had an authors panel. And when I tell you that I purposely looked back at the audience because I was kind of sitting in the front just to kind of take it all in myself and see the women writing notes and just eyes wide open looking at the panelists like, wow, they did it, I can do it too. Just the encouragement and just the you can see how proud they were to see other women that look like them, right, tell these stories and share vulnerabilities, right, and made us all feel like, hey, we're not the only ones. It was truly a moment just to take in. I just had so many moments that I found myself boohooing just from seeing the other ladies take it all in. So, I mean, and from the planning to executing, right, we spent a year or so planning for this day, right? And still, with all the planning, the last couple weeks were a bit stressful. We wanted everything to be perfect and all of the things that go into planning a conference. So After it was all over, we had a sigh of relief. One, that it was over, the planning was done. But two, that it was exactly how we planned it, right? We wanted the women to feel inspired, encouraged, and given the tools, right? And so a lot of the women in the panelists, we had 3 amazing keynote speakers that just brought down the house. I mean, their words, some of the ladies were in the audience. We had one particular keynote that taught us how to throw a punch, right? Which was pretty cool. Got us all exercising. I mean, it was so good. Another keynote just encouraged those that may not feel comfortable in speaking out loud in front of a group to stand up, grab the mic, and speak. I mean, just amazing. I can't tell you everything because there was so much. But it was truly amazing. I can't wait till 2027. So if you miss 2026, make sure you are there for 2027. So tying this all up with the Alicia Keys, show that I literally just got home from, what I did see from there was mentorship and grit. Right? The actress that played Alicia, aka Allie, she finds her way through a mentor. How important is that for us ladies, right? To have a mentor and look up to someone. And of course she had her mom, but she was a teenager and her mom didn't want her doing certain things. And at that point in her life, she felt like she couldn't relate with her mom, and many times she said verbally, I hate my mom. And we know as teenagers we all go through that, right? And those that are moms of teenage daughters can feel that pain, but she needed a mentor, right? And she found this mentor, and the mentor's name in the play was Miss Liza Jane. And she was just amazing, taught her how to play the piano, taught her to take those emotions and take them to the piano, right? And so she learned how to play the piano. She learned how to just leave it all there. And we know, for those of you that follow music, know how amazing and talented Alicia Keys is. But that just shows us the importance of mentorship, right? So let's talk about mentorship, in entrepreneurship. Let's talk about that because that's important, right? And so when you think about the conference and all the different panels and all the different speakers, we can find a piece of what we're looking for in everything that was brought up, right? So when you're establishing your business, the formation of your LLC, if you're creating one, from the structure, how you're going to create your business, what's the business structure going to look like, right? So the legalities, right? We also had several attorneys, right? Are you going to need to patent something, right? All of those things were exposed, right? All of those things, the possible shortcomings were exposed in our conference, and not to scare us, right? And it was more for informational purposes. Like, hey guys, this can happen. We have seen this happen. So now let us mentor you as you're planning your businesses, right? How important is that, right? I saw these women with eyes wide open, just taking it all in. Some of them, writing notes, right? And some of them taking it all in and typing. I mean, it was just amazing to see. Because when we were planning this conference, what we didn't want was, we wanted the feel good, the encouragement, the empowerment, because we all need that, right? We live in a world that's currently so negative right now, and we're all just either sad about what we see in the news or angry about what we hear, and all these emotions that are causing us to just feel all sorts of things. So being encouraged and empowered and motivated is important, right? But what we didn't want is to leave you guys with a cliffhanger. Okay, I'm empowered, I'm encouraged, I'm motivated. Now what? So we really, really dug into, okay, based on what we hear, we have the privilege at V&H to be able to see businesses start, to be able to see businesses expand and flourish. And we listen to the needs of these businesses, right? Of women that just are in need of support, and maybe not even in business, maybe it's in the corporate world, right? We've had women come in and say, hey, what happens when someone takes the credit for all the work that I do? How should I approach the situation, right? So these are the things and the type of mentorship that we do at VNH. So we took all of that feedback and brought it to you guys in the conference, right? To provide those tools necessary to make it to the next step. Now that you're encouraged, you're motivated, you know what you need to do. Now you have the tools and the resources to actually do it. So we were strategic when we were selecting the different panels, and I'm gonna say I think it was a hit. We're getting amazing feedback. We have a survey that will be going out early this week to provide us additional feedback that we're going to use to plan for 2027. But yeah, guys, mentorship is important, right? Find your mentor figure, right? Find someone that has been there, right? In the Alicia Keys Hell's Kitchen musical, Miss Alicia found Miss Liza Jane as her mentor, right? And why? Because Miss Liza Jane knew what it was like to take the frustrations, right? In the musical, she went on to tell Alicia Keys, how growing up, music was her outlet. She felt all the feelings and just took it out on the piano, right? So why was that important for Alicia Keys? Because she was going through a transition. Her father wasn't in her life. Her relationship with her mom was not healthy. You know, all of the things that are happening, the emotions of a 17-year-old, right? All of the things, the relationships, the friends, and everything that's happening, she needed to feel like she can relate. So learning from Miss Liza Jane was all that she needed, right? Because she found the mentor figure that was able to relate with her and what she was going through at that moment, right? So in your life right now, how are you being that for someone else, right? Can you be Miss Liza Jane for someone else? Can you say, hey, I've been through that. Let me help you. Maybe let's switch roles. Instead of you looking for a mentor, can you be someone else's mentor? Maybe you're in year 3 of your business. Can you mentor a new business and kind of help them and say, hey, don't make the mistakes I made. Let me tell you what I did and how I failed so you can avoid that. Let me show you how I fell flat on my face so you don't have to fall, right? So I wanted to kind of change it up and give it a little spin this week and say, find someone that perhaps you can mentor, right? Find someone that needs the information that you already have, right? And you don't have to be that further ahead, right? You just need to say to that person, I've been there, I know what you're feeling, and this is how I can help you, right? Because the weight of being a woman in business is heavy, guys. We're balancing all the things, all while we're walking in our high heels. I literally just said to my friend that I wasn't going to wear heels for the next 5 days, right? Because I've been doing all the things on my heels, and the conference I wore heels. So I need a break. My feet need a break. So I literally just said, with everything I had going on and wearing my heels, I'm going to take a break for the next 5 days. But think about it literally, right? So that's me wearing heels, just doing all the running around for the conference. But in business, right? The weight of a business, the stress of the business, that's heavy. And we're trying to balance it all while looking cute in our heels, right? Looking cute in our everyday lives, right? Not necessarily heels. You gals know what I'm saying. So, we're all just trying to leave a legacy, right? But let's just remember the weight is heavy. And if we can help someone else lift a little bit of that weight, we are giving back to someone. And maybe we didn't have someone to help us. Maybe we just had to carry the weight. Does that mean that you're not going to do that for someone else? At least you can say, I know the pain of doing it alone. Don't do it alone, right? Utilize what you went through. I always say your testimony is a testimony because of the tests you went through. You wouldn't have a testimony without the tests. So use your testimony. Share your testimony. It's going to help someone, right? So with that, I end today's episode. Another short and sweet one. But again, I did not want to leave you guys hanging on IWD. And after an amazing weekend, you guys know, how important women empowerment is to me. It is my DNA, right? It is why I do what I do. And it fuels me just to see other women win, right? I always say that growing up, I couldn't get into sports. My dad had me play softball for a little bit. I believe I was a shortstop. And I just couldn't do it because I didn't feel right in just always trying to win, right? I wanted everybody to win. I'm like, why can't it just be a tie? And I guess that was God preparing me for my bigger calling, which was to empower women, to encourage women, to show women that together we can do more, right? There's no need for division, right? Let me help you. Let me fix your crown. Let me help you carry your shoes, because sometimes you have to take off those shoes. It's too much to walk in those heels and carry the burdens of everything you have to carry. Take off those shoes, wear those flats. Sometimes there's no shoes to wear and you're barefoot. Let me help you with that, because I've been there. I can tell you a little bit about that. So instead of us looking for help, I want to end this episode with you being the help that someone else needs. So you guys know we give you homework after every episode. So tonight's homework is find someone that is starting, that's a little bit behind from where you're at today, and go and help them. You become their mentor. You show them what you've been through so that they can avoid the pain. All right? With that, I leave you guys. You have an amazingly blessed week. When you guys hear this, it will be the start of a new week. And I just hope you guys just keep doing it, ladies. I say guys because it's just a metaphor that I always use. But guys and gals, because we have guys listening to us. But folks, just have an amazing week. Just know you were put on this earth for a purpose, and figure out what that is. If you know it, if you know beyond the shadow of a doubt what your calling is, then you should be pursuing it. It's time to execute. Let's start executing, peeps. Love you guys, and until next time, bye, y'all. Wow, that was some strong cafecito we poured today on Vision and Heels Uncensored. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Make sure you hit that subscribe button and leave us a review. We are truly grateful, as it really helps us pour more into your heart straight from ours.
Remember to live your truth, handle your business, and shine bright.
We'll be back soon to pour some more. Stay blessed.